Hello, welcome to my channel. Okay, let's paint a new portrait today. I have here titanium white, cadmium orange, cadmium red, alizarin crimson, raw umber, emerald green, ultramarine blue, and ivory black. Got a couple of photographs. The upper one, the darker one, is to see more clearly the difference between light midtones and shadows. Okay, I'm gonna start painting using the upper photograph, but not like I'm gonna copy that in black and white. It's more about copying the values. Okay, I have here raw umber. I'm gonna mix it with a touch of orange, a touch of alizarin crimson, more alizarin crimson. Okay, I have a little bit of linseed oil. I'm gonna add a little bit of linseed oil, just a tiny bit, and then I start just thinking about those darker areas. Okay, one eye here, the other eye here. Okay, I'm just grouping here the eyebrow and the eye, all this area. Okay, now the idea is just to show you what we see when we squint down our eyes and what we pay attention to. Okay, basically, I just see the darker areas, a bit more linseed oil. And even I'm squinting down my eyes, even that, that you see the photograph is pretty dark. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 brush strokes, and I see a little bit of the face. Okay, now I'm gonna move to a lighter value. Usually I mix on the palette, on the upper part, my lighter values, and I move down to the darker ones at the bottom. Hello, Dr. Slick. Hello, Christine. Hello, White Tigers. Hello, Joyce. I got a question here. How do you use so little paint? When I don't paint, it looks like a paint factory exploded. Painting, okay. Yeah, I mean, I add more paint as I continue, painting, like after maybe an hour. But at the beginning, I usually I just not too much paint. Let's say that would be different if I start this with a pretty tight drawing. But since I don't have any drawing here, basically I'm kind of careful about having too much paint, which is going to make more difficult for me to make corrections. Just that's the reason. But usually I add more paint as I continue painting, and I add more paint on the lights than on the shadows. A few times I painted like really thick paint, but no, it's not something that I used to do. I'm just making this dark. I'm gonna paint a little bit of the hair. Now I'm not gonna paint the hand. This photograph is from Pixels. You can. That's a free copyrighted photograph website. And then you can just pick a photograph from there, paint them, and save them if you want. Hello, Fatih. Hello, Mookie. Okay, this is the idea about values. Okay, now As I said before, I'm gonna mix a lighter value here. I need more. These are crimson. Just 1 second. Okay. These are crimson, orange, raw umber, and white. I'm gonna add a touch of emerald green just to knock it down the red. Okay. Now I'm thinking about midtones. I'm gonna lay down a few brush strokes to see if this works as a midtone or I have to make it a little bit lighter. Obviously, you will see that the photograph is lighter, everything is lighter. That's one of the reasons that I start with few paint, because I'm gonna add more paint on top and light it up this. Okay, a bit more orange, more white. Even that the color is just gonna be sure that it's kind of close. Even that it looks like kind of violet, that's okay. I can just add a little bit of more cadmium orange, make this more orangey, and go on top of that, make retouches. Okay, and just step it back a bit. Okay, I'm gonna prepare a lighter mixture here. Basically it's the same: orange, alizarin crimson, raw umber, more white. You could use different brushes, using just the same brush, but when I paint, you know, on the paint alone sessions, I prefer to use just a different brush for a different color. And here too, you know, I like this brush. I want to try it a little bit more. Let's see. I think this is the only, I'm not so sure, but this is from here, from my country, Peru. I think this is the only brand that is been manufactured here, but not so sure. I mean, I'm sure that this is from here, but not so sure if that's the only one. Okay, I need a bigger brush for the background, and I need, oh, I think I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna use just black and white. Yeah, just one gray right now. This gray is gonna be okay. More linseed oil. Let's see, where's the neck? Around here. that's enough for now. I don't need to paint the whole background. Oh, hello. Oh no, I have. What are you painting on? A question here. A canvas, you know, just cutting canvas. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna mix this cadmium red with a little bit of green, emerald green and white. Okay. I'm gonna mix a lighter value for the light here on the cheekbone, on the nasal bone, the tip of the nose, and forehead here. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, I got the shadows here, I got a midtone, I got light. Obviously we need more colors, more values here. Just squinting down my eyes and look at the, I'm gonna pay attention to the forehead. Okay, look at the values on the forehead, on the upper photograph. You can see where's the light here and how the light goes to a shadow. Okay, midtone, shadow, and then a reflected light. Okay. The shadow is here. I'm just checking how dark is the shadow. Okay. No, I gotta create the illusion, obviously, that this is just turning down. I need a midtone here. The globella area is a bit darker. I used to repeat these things in my head. Just in that way, I paint not just seeing all these details from the photograph. It just using the knowledge I have. Not always reminded when I always remember where I gotta put some values and some midtones and you know. Okay, let's see. I need to knock down this color a little bit of green, white. The upper part of the forehead is rounded too. Remember, it goes like this. If we paint a lighter value and stop there, we're gonna make the forehead flat. Okay, I think I got enough here. Yeah. Now let's move to the eyes. Hello Juan Carlos, hello Steve, hello Bob, hello Michael, hello Swapnir. Okay, let's see on the eyes. And painting with my eyes squinted, and again, you know, I just see one value here, one value here. I'm gonna paint the light below the eyebrow. Now when we paint a light here, we gotta just think, is this light as bright as the light up here? Or this is lighter? Or this one is lighter? Okay, remember that this area basically is all rounded like this. We gotta create a rounded volume there. Okay, on top of that, we have the eyebrow. Okay, that's why we cannot paint the eyebrow just dark from one end to the other end. Why? Because it's follow the same volume that is on the on this portion of the face. It means that if there is light here, there has to be light on the eyebrow too. And it's darker here because it's kind of falling down into this area. Okay. Now it's the same with the other eyebrow. Okay. This brush I'm using, I bought a set on Dollar City. Look at this brush. It's to paint here, I think. Yeah, to paint here. I wanna get more of these ones. I like the texture. I like it right now. I don't know if as I continue painting, maybe I'm gonna just smooth out everything. I'm gonna keep the texture. But right now I like it. Maybe I'm gonna smooth some areas and keep those brush strokes on other areas. Okay. Not so sure yet, but usually the same way that we try to find balance between soft edges, sharp edges, warm and cool colors. You could try the same with brush strokes. You know, we can just leave some brush strokes over here or over here, and smooth out another brush strokes, just to, you know, and we have some kind of harmony between the brush strokes, some softness here and some roughness in another area. Pay attention to the upper photograph to check out the values. Okay. Always think about the form. How is this? Sometimes a mistake that I see that we paint this flat, but this is rounded, okay, like this. When we think about that, think about a primary form. When you see the upper photograph, you basically seeing so clearly, and seeing so clearly the primary form. This is rounded. It means that it has to be darker here, and darker here. I'm gonna add more. I'm gonna use a little bit of black. Darker here. Okay, you see this dark, light here, and a reflected light. That sounds familiar. That's usually the same, pattern that you see on any rounded form, cylindrical or spherical form. Okay, once you got this form, then you start just painting more and more details. For an absolute beginner, I would say, get this form first, the volume, and then stop. You don't need, and then move on to the next painting. You don't need to paint all the values, all the details. Sorry, all the values. Yeah, all of them as much as possible. All the details. You don't need details to learn more about painting. You just need to understand the form. When you see the form, it means that you got the volume. Hello, Maggie. Nice to see you here. Okay. Now about color, as you see on my painting, the color is different from the photograph. Okay, it's kind of difficult when you paint at a Prima to get the same colors, but when you got something on your canvas, you're gonna be able to make corrections. I think I would say don't spend a lot of time mixing on the palette. Just mix something that just put you really close to the skin color, and from there you make corrections. But for that, don't add too much paint at the beginning. In that way you can just put more and more and more. Okay. Just 1 second. Hello, Monique. Hello, Trudy. Okay, let's see. You know what? I like the colors right now. Yeah. I just like that. I'm gonna capture the screen here just to keep this. I don't know why, but I like it. Like, it looks like a nice sketch for me. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Where you see the lightest lights. So clear on the upper photograph. Now you can use, I usually use Photoshop, but there are so many options just to get a black and white photograph. And just add more contrast. That's it. Kind of simple. Okay, now I'm thinking, what about the lights here? The lights and highlights. Are those highlights warm? You see a lot of yellow there. Kind of, they're kind of neutral or really cool. Now, the thing is that the skin color is a warm color. It means that any color that goes on top, it's not gonna change unless you obviously add a really strong light. It's not gonna change the skin color. It's gonna go on top, and usually when the light is cool, you're gonna see a neutral light. When the light is warm, that's gonna be different. That's gonna just saturate more the skin color, and you're gonna see more yellowish or orangey But think just that you're gonna see more saturation. It could be just a kind of pinkish, orangey. Obviously, that depends on the skin color. Okay, let's see. About this reflected light. It's been a long time since I used orange for reflected light. Let's use it for today. What about this orange? Yeah, a touch of white, just to knocking down this orange a bit. Okay. Back in the brush. Now I'm gonna pick up more paint. Okay, clean the brush. I pick up more paint. Okay, see this color here, and the orange on the nose too. A little bit there. And moving down here. Okay, here on the reflected light, which area is brighter? And we cannot paint the same, reflected light with the same intensity and saturation all around the face. Okay, here is lighter and a bit more saturated. Okay, I think I can knock down this one. I'm gonna wait because maybe I'm gonna add more a touch of yellow with this orange and make this brighter. Okay. Hello, Trudy. Okay, yeah. Watching from Oregon. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's see. Little bit of black and white here. Let's paint the white of the eyes. Again, I'm squinting down my eyes, and for example, here, what I see is a triangle. This, yeah, okay, that's clear. And then I see this shape, and now I move below that shape. There is another shape here. And I'm gonna just lay down a brush stroke just here. Okay, that's the white of the eye. Okay. Now, this eye, what I see here, eyebrow, when I painted the eyebrow, obviously I got the eyebrow here, I got the eye here. Yeah, eyebrow. Yeah. Squinting down my eyes again, and I see this, something like just this shape. Okay, everything darker here, that is, and everything dark here, and then a little bit of a touch of light there. Check out how tilted is the nose. And alignment. I see this, the tearduct here. If I move down, I find the nose there. I move down a little bit to the right, the corner of the mouth. Okay. That's how I draw while I paint. Okay, I paint and I draw at the same time. And for drawing, basically, I use shapes, I use values. I just kind of try to simplify to big shapes and checking out the relationship between those big shapes. And then I'm able to draw. Steve Williams saying, do you use a dry brush on all the strokes of paint, or you have to use some, linseed oil? No, just not medium. I use it a little bit of linseed oil to paint the hair and the background, but not for the face. I usually don't use it. Okay. I like these strokes. I think I'm gonna keep them. Or at least I'm gonna try to keep them. I can have some strokes here, some brush strokes, and smooth out some of them. I should clean this here for the neck. I want a sharp edge here. Okay, sharp edge. This is soft, and again a sharp edge. We see this on the photograph. But it doesn't mean like sometimes we paint it. So many times I see things and I think I copied them pretty good, and then when I realize I didn't copy them. Okay. When we learn to paint, we learn to see. Okay. Let's paint the nose. Okay, I'm gonna paint the reflected light in the nose. I'm gonna use cadmium yellow light. I have here cadmium yellow light. Okay, I'm gonna use this Naples yellow. A little bit Naples yellow. this with a touch of orange, just a tiny touch of orange because this Naples yellow is pretty weak. Okay, I'm gonna clean the brush a little bit, and what is with what is left here, I'm gonna paint this brush. Now I need more raw umber. I'm gonna move the mouth a little bit down. I think I see more space here. Okay. Let's see. I think I can use this. I could use this color here too. Moving up, and here too. Okay. Okay, let's paint the nose. Oh, got the eyes, nose. I'm gonna just draw it a little bit down. Yeah, that's the base of the nose. And this shadow goes up next to the reflected light. Goes up, 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 up. Okay. Next to a reflected light, there's gonna be a core shadow. It could be lighter or darker, but there's gonna be always a core shadow. Like in this area here on the nose, a core shadow here too. On the way here, another shadow here. Yeah, I want to make this light here brighter. Okay, I need to go look for my cadmium yellow light. I'm going to my yellow room here that I think is where it is. I'll be back just in a minute. I'm back. Here I have let's see this in the house I have, let's say, two studios. One is a tiny bit like, if I don't know how can to explain this, but it's just enough space for my easel, the camera, a chair, and cannot step back like more than maybe 4 or 10 foot. Just that. No, maybe less. Yeah. If I stretch my arm, I can touch, the wall on my back. And the other one is a little bit bigger, but I prefer to paint here because the lighting, there's more light here. Hello, Jonas. Hello, Kundan. Which brand of brushes you use for oil? Okay, this. I just, to be honest, I don't care about the brand. I know which ones are the best. But when I go to store, I just kind of touch the synthetic hair, and I say that's okay. It's kind of flexible, stiff, but flexible at the same time, and that's okay. When it's too flexible, I know that. When it's too stiff, I know that that's not gonna be useful for me. And that's how sometimes I end up buying brushes, and like in Dollar City. Lately, I'm buying brushes in Dollar City, a lot of them. This one, I bought this one. This one's too. Okay. You know. It's not like I don't care about the brushes. Yeah, and I just think that it's enough for me, any kind of brush, and I don't care that much. But I have, oh, what can I say? I don't know. It feels even for me that it's not okay to use just these cheaper brushes that I use. Anyway, one of these days I'm gonna go and buy some Sabre, expensive brushes. Pretty sure there's gonna be a difference. Yeah. Yeah, pretty sure. I was thinking about, the reflected light. I went for the yellow to paint the reflected light. Okay, this is gonna make my color even brighter because Naples yellow is too weak. Okay, for the nose, this little tiny here. I would say buy the brushes that you can afford. You have a really good budget. Yeah, go for the expensive, the better ones. But it's not, you know, you're gonna be able to paint anyway. Don't buy the cheaper ones. I think the cheaper ones. Even that I go some few times to Dollar City because there's a mall that is pretty close to where I live, and I love to drink coffee there. And just like, I go so often, and I can tell that the brushes I buy, they are cheap, but not cheaper as there are cheaper brushes, and I can just tell, but just by looking at them, that they are not going to be useful for paint. Okay. Mm-hmm. I remember when, that here in the house, like everybody painted a little bit, and the brushes that everybody uses, when my mom, she was a painter, but that was some kind of saber imitation. They were pretty good. I remember when I took those brushes to the School of Art, my friends, they were like, "Whoa, you have nice brushes. Yeah, you're pretty good." And I was, no, this is my mom's brushes. And obviously I didn't know they were kind of, no, let's not say expensive, because they weren't expensive, but for a student, let's say that a student, they usually try to save the money, and on brushes, on oil paints, on canvases. Yeah, it's just like here, the cheaper brands, oil paint brands that exist. Let's say the decent one is Winton. Okay, from there, the cheaper one is a Chinese brand. I don't remember the name, because it looks like there are two brands. And I remember when I was teaching, like 5 years ago. And usually I love to teach, paint and teach, kind of just show. I love to do that. And I don't know. I mean, I think I got bored when I just walk around the classroom and I don't do anything. I gotta just paint too. And I'm not saying that's good, because when you paint, you kind of don't pay attention to the students. But I used to paint a little bit and then move around, walking between the easels and pointing out some mistakes, and then go back to my place and paint. And they can just, and from time to time, they go to my easel and check out, here and there. And once one of the students said, like, okay, I think you got nice paintings because you're using those oil paints, and we're using the cheaper ones. And everybody was like, yeah. Somebody said, no, it's not about the paintings. It's not about that. But anyway, those paintings, that oil brand is better than what we use. And I said, okay, I'm gonna just use the same brand that you use. It's not like I never use it. I use the brand, but it was for different things. I remember once we got with my friends a commission to paint 50, I think, no, more, 100 paintings, and we were, wow, that's pretty good. That's gonna be amazing. But the price, it was really low. They would say, okay, but we can still can make it. Let's buy this really cheap brand, and we're gonna make it. Yeah, and we did it. It was okay, but you feel the difference when you paint. It's kind of more liquid, and after like a few, I remember I kept one with me, and I saw the painting after like 6 months. And I remember I painted some area, and I think it was a red apple. I painted pretty red, and after 6 months, the red, it wasn't that bright. It was kind of dull, mute red. You say, oh, okay, this is not good. Anyway, the thing is, going back to when I was teaching, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna use the same brand you use to show you that it's not just the oil paints, the brand you use. Okay. And I said all the things that I keep saying here, Pay attention to values, value skin. After you get the values, everything, the color is gonna be on top, it's gonna be easier. But if you don't get the values, color is not gonna save your painting. No details and the same thing. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Steve saying, I started my first oil paint that Renzo had up here. The one where the sunlight was coming in the window and the lady was on the bed in a haze of light. I think it was being too ambiguous. I'm trying to remember the painting. Anyway, I think I cannot remember a lot of things while I paint. I remember a few things. Now, when you paint here, you gotta be sure. Remember, it's not that you got just one value. You can count here 1, 2, 3, 4, and obviously there are more values. The more important here, you need this mid-tone here, and you need what? A core shadow here. This one. Without that one, you don't complete the volume. Sometimes we paint that mid-tone and then just the reflected light. Okay? Don't forget that core shadow is here. You can just paint it like the way I'm doing here, and then you blend it a bit. Trying to get at the end a combination between some smooth areas and some brush strokes. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep the brush strokes. Sometimes I end up blending more and more and more. Now, it's the same here. You got two core shadows. One that's here. Okay, you got the upright lid there, and there has to be another one here. Okay, do you see it? Obviously no, I don't see it either, but I know it's there. The only way to learn these things is just repetition, And repetition, it means practice. It means that you gotta join my paint alone lessons. What about that for a commercial? Hello, exploring history. Okay, let's see, stepping back. I need to paint the lights here, lighter lights there. When I have more paint, I don't see these brush strokes. This. Notice that it's because the more paint, the brush, I think it gets kind of stick together, and I don't see a nice effect of this, of the hair. That means that I need to add paint just slowly, gradually. I'm gonna add more and more paint because I want to keep this brush stroke. That's the only reason. I found the brush that I was looking for. Okay, I'll reflect the light and a shadow here. This area is too small to work. Just thinking, comparing. Oh, don't forget to press the like button if you like it. If you don't like it, press the dislike button twice. Okay, let's see. Light here, the light goes like this, it goes like this. Okay. Just gotta paint on the tip of the brush because I want to keep the texture. Okay. I put more pressure when I lay down more paint, and then I go lightly when I want just lay down less paint and kind of smooth out a little bit. Okay, let's see. Which one of these three lights is the brightest one? I think it's definitely the tip of the nose, but in this case, it's not just the tip of the nose. I think it's this area here too. Okay, for that I'm gonna use green, white, a lot of white. I think it's too greenish. Okay, let's check out the upper photograph. Hey, there's light there, but maybe not too much. Okay, let's continue. Who's painting right now? Somebody's painting right now with me? I mean, not the same painting, obviously. That would be, too much pressure, I think. Let's work on the eyes. What about these eyelashes? It doesn't look natural. That's kind of a makeup, yeah? I like it. I think I'm gonna paint. I'll try to copy that. Okay, now in this area, think about core shadow. It's gotta be here. Now this is pretty difficult to get when you just lay down bigger brush strokes. That's why there's not going to be a way for me to end up with a painting full of loose brush strokes. I don't know how it's going to be possible for me to paint these things if I just lay down bigger brush strokes. The only one I know that was able to do that, I think, was Sargent. Yeah. Okay. Now here, this core shadow becomes darker in this area, and this shadow moves like this. And that's going to create a volume there. Okay. Pay attention to these things because these are pretty important. The shadows, we don't paint them. They are just so difficult to see. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Joyce. Oh, Michael is saying that he's painting in the middle of painting of Jack or Russell dog. Okay. Thank you, exploring. John is saying, like the portrait and the colors, I also like the other one you did, as you had to be creative and put together images to the portrait, like a collage. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got one more collage to paint. That's gonna be for the next week. I didn't finish the other one. I don't know if maybe I should smooth out or add more paint. Okay. Now on this painting, on this area here, we need the volume in this area. You feel it there, you know. Now to paint this area, I'm gonna just zoom in. Okay, to make this area here, you got the light, you need a shadow here. Okay, that line is gonna become a shadow, but that's gonna be pretty subtle. It's so difficult to get those little shadows. Okay, I need to zoom in the painting here, the photograph, sorry. No, light again here, and a reflected light here, and that way you can see the shadow between these two lights. Okay, we need to spend a lot of time here. Maybe I would say I will spend more time here to get the volume, which is pretty tricky. Anyway, I didn't get it. Let's continue painting, you know, but you know what you need to do, okay? At least. Okay, I need a sharp edge here. And a highlight. Using black, sharp, and dark. all the way to the corner of the eye. Okay, now I'm gonna just raw umber, and with this I'm gonna paint the other eye. Okay, I painted the one on the right with pure black and this one with brown. Okay, my intention is just to make this recede and this pop. Okay. Sometimes I start doing this and I ended up with both eyes, or just with black on the upper eyelashes. But at least we gotta try, or we need to have that idea to get the illusion of depth. Okay. A little bit of light. I gotta be sure that this light is not too bright. I could do the same for the eyebrows. Pure black for this one, this area that's darker, and the corner here. And just raw umber, which is kind of transparent, for this one. Okay. Try this, see if you like it. Maybe it's gonna be just better just to paint both with black and that's it. It's not like there's a lot of depth when we paint a face. It's not like this eye is far away. But at least if we could practice this or have this idea, I think that's gonna be pretty useful. At some point we can use it. Who knows? The white of the eye, don't paint the white of the eye white. I see a little bit of reflected light, yellowish reflected light here. There is a reflected light here. If you don't see it, remember that it has to be there. Why? Because this is around it, it's getting inside the nostril. The only way to see that volume is you paint the light, midtones, shadow, core shadow, and reflected light. brush is pretty good to paint here. Okay, Magic's asking, are the eyes the most important feature of? Yeah, always. The eyes are always the more important feature. You know, every time that we see a face, you basically look for the eyes. I saw once, it was a poem about marketing, and they say that it was, I saw some samples about why they, let's say they put a face usually, and usually with the eyes, and that how our nature as humans just look for the human eyes. Any, that's the first thing that we see on the face. I don't remember that much of that the program. It was about marketing, but the thing I remember that. And I said, wow, for me it was like, yeah, it's kind of the same when we paint. It's kind of the eyes can tell a story. Yeah, the eyes are enough to, kind of express an emotion. Okay, let's see a question here. Joyce saying, for the right eyebrow, you used a bit of black on the interior section and then a little bit of black on the outer tip. I thought that the outer tip would be lighter. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta just check out that. The thing is that just sometimes it's a bit difficult to pay attention to all of those things. But thank you for remind me this. Okay, let's see. Squint out your eyes and check out the upper photograph. If you see the same kind of lights and shadows, that's good. Okay. I think I have to move the light a little bit to the left. Uh, Jason, thank you. Martha. I thought that I learned the eyebrow thing from you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you know what? I have a problem with the nose. I think it's kind of tricky for me to get the volume. I don't have the feeling that I see in a rounded nose, and I don't know where is the. Maybe it could be here, the tip of the nose. Move the tip up, or it could be just adding more paint at the mid-tone here. Okay, or maybe a mid-tone here. But the thing is, I see the nose, and what I like to see is that the nose, it looks rounded and it's coming forward. And this nose is, I don't see that. Okay, uh, maybe a touch of orange. There. Okay. It could be that it needs more shadow here. Or I made a mistake on the transition here. Okay. Okay, now on this area, the shadow, light, shadow. I need a shadow here, and that goes like this. Okay. Another shadow here. this shadow is to create roundness on the corner of the mouth. Okay, here's the same way. We got the shadow there. We need another shadow, pretty shadow on top of that. Blend it, and a little bit of light there. Okay. Maybe the mistake is that this light, it has to be up closer to the bridge of the nose. A coarse shadow here, just there, to make this area turn. I need to soften this eyebrow here for the same reason, to make this turn. To see more light there. I need to knock down the reddish colors too. I like it, but I like it then, but it's just like there's too much red here, for example. Okay, a little bit of this green on top of the cheek. And the best way to use these brushes is just using the tip of the brush. The only problem with that is that it's like you don't use too much paint, because the only way to add a lot of paint is, you know, load the brush with paint. And let's see, I need to find more brushes, but I love this because of the texture, but I need to find more brushes if I wanna just get this nice and loose, little bit loose effect. Okay, I think the face may be too wide. Don't know. Okay, got a little bit of orange here. That's too yellowish. A little bit of red on top. Oh, thank you so much, Joyce. Yeah. Pretty nice words. Pretty nice comment. Sylvie saying, does the left eye need more shadow? Okay, I'm gonna check out. Yeah, maybe it does. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Manuel. Oh, the size of my paintings. This is 9 by 9 inches. Oh, I was thinking about the width of the face. Somebody told me about the shadow on the eye. Okay, I'm gonna check out that in a minute. Okay, let's see. Okay, now about the mouth, the upper lip. Okay, we got the upper lip, okay? We need a reflected light here. Okay, the mouth, the upper lip, the mouth is turning. It means that this side of the mouth has to be a bit darker. Here, this half. Okay, we're gonna try to keep this reflected light. Okay. The line between the lips is a cast shadow from the upper lip on top of the bottom lip. Okay. That means that it's not a line, it's cast shadow, and we paint it as a line first, and then we soften. Okay, and look at this portion here. What we tend to do when we paint that area, we tend to do this, we paint a line here, or make it this. Okay, but you see the photograph, you're just gonna see that there is a transition here. Okay, and you pay attention to a lot of portraits, you're gonna see that transition everywhere. Obviously, unless you see a face with a mouth with a lot of makeup, with a lot of lipstick, too reddish that. But usually, that's pretty common to see that transition on the corners of the mouth, below the corners of the mouth. Okay, a touch of red just here, in the center of the mouth. Now a little bit of shadow there. Here. I'm gonna mix black and alizarin crimson. I'm gonna make the corner of the mouth here darker, between the lips here, in the center of the mouth a bit darker. Okay, but not too dark here. This is not gonna be that dark. It's gonna be soft. Even that I'm seeing that it's dark. Okay, I'm seeing that's dark. Everybody see that this is dark. I'm just trying to soften that to create the illusion that it's turning. Okay? You can try to complete that illusion just softening the contour of the face. Make it this soft. Okay, but keeping that sharp here. Okay, it looks like I need a tiny brush. I want to paint uh, this reflected light on the nose. Okay, let me look for my tiniest pointy brush here. I think this is the one. I pick up some paint and I want a little bit of texture. Okay. It's so difficult to lay down the paint. Okay, in that way that's gonna catch real light because it has texture, it has thickness. I'm gonna mix white and yellow. You know what? I'm gonna make that even brighter. Here. Okay. I think now I'm making the nose pop, but at the same time, that's not enough. Maybe a bit more pink. Here. Touch of orange. You know what? Now I see I just saw the forehead. I need to move the hair a little bit down. Okay, a bit more contrast. Okay, let me step back and check out. Just thinking where I'm gonna keep, where I'm gonna soften some edges and where I'm gonna keep some sharp edges. Okay, now the mouth. I think the mouth. I'm gonna just cover the mouth here on the corner. Here. Okay. Now let's think for a little bit about volume. This is rounded. Yeah, I need a little bit of shadow here. Like a little bit of shadow, and then a little bit of light, and then the other shadow. To make the face a bit rounded. Okay, I think the same is gonna be up here. Okay, let's keep thinking about this. Shadows. Okay, I got this wrinkle here, and there has to be another shadow here, and then I'll reflect the light. Just there. To make this, you know, rounded. The problem sometimes that when we blend, we just, you know, blend that away. Okay. Now continue like that everywhere on the face. Here, for example, there's gotta be another core shadow here, like this. You know, you wanna practice this because I keep repeating this on all these sessions, paint alone sessions. Go and join my Patreon. We paint Sundays, we draw Thursdays, we paint Saturdays too. We paint too much. I'm always impressed when I see, you know, an amazing painting that looks like it's been done just with few brush strokes. But every time that I get really close and start checking out all these little things, I find the same. A lot of work on those midtones, a lot of work on those values. Okay. Okay. Oh, somebody's asking me about the brushes. It says here, artist series. I got this set of 6 brushes, I think, for $2. It's not like it's not expensive brush. You know, like sorry. The thing is that I'm not recommending what I use because I just buy so many brushes from so many different places, so many different prices. I don't care if they are pretty cheap. Cheap. I said, did I say cheap? Cheap. Sorry, my English. And what? There are some brushes that I found on Amazon. They are pretty close to the ones I use. Not these ones, but you know, so some of the brushes that I have used. And I paste the link on the description box. Okay. You're gonna find there the link to Amazon. It's not exactly the same brushes, but they are pretty close to look exactly the same. And maybe did I use those ones? What happens here is like you find the same brushes with different brands, but I'm pretty sure it's just the same brush. And I was thinking, oh my god, how is that possible that they put just different brands, different names, and the same brushes? I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna put my name of those brushes. Looks like nobody cares. Oh, hello Marina, since it's connected. Okay, may I know what range of colors did you choose to mix up the right skin tones, please? Okay, yeah, the thing is that they say that we move around orange and knock down orange and make this a bit lighter, a bit yellowish, a bit reddish, but it's not a kind of perfect formula like this color is, and at the very beginning you're gonna see that the painting looks pretty pinky, pinkish. Okay, and as soon as I lay down, let's say the first layer, on the second layer I'm able to make the corrections because obviously it's so clear that the color is a little bit off, but it doesn't mean that the color is not gonna work. It's not like that we need to copy exactly the same color. Yeah. If the values are good, the skin color is gonna work, even that it's not perfectly close. Okay, I could tell you to check out the first maybe 10 minutes, maybe a bit more, but no more than 20 minutes. That's where I usually established the values in color, and then from there I move to make adjustments, and now that's the whole process, is making adjustments and start adding more and more details. Not a lot of details. I mean that depends. Sometimes I got a few paintings where I try to add more and more details. Okay, I think I'd lighten up the the forehead too much. Mhm. Sorry. Okay. Um, oh, Michael saying I love sheep brushes. Sheep. Yeah, they have a problem there. I'm not able to make the difference when I pronounce. I try sheep, cheap. You know. I don't know. I hope that sounds better. Yeah. But see, you will hear me saying I love to buy cheap brushes. Well, what I mean is inexpensive ones. Okay. Okay. Trudy C saying thank you for the answers about your flat brush. Yeah. I really think liking the effect of separated hair seems to give more life to your painting. Yeah, looks like this. Obviously, a brush stroke. When we lay down the brush stroke, we don't move it, and when we see, the strokes, that definitely creates more movement because this creates movement, those strokes. But I want something between that. That's why I'm blending some areas, and just keeping some brush strokes in other areas. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Oh, hello, Kyrus. Kyrus said, thinking of buying a projection cube for tracing my drawings onto my surface and any size. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. I'm not again tracing. Yeah, that's okay. But obviously, we need to try to find the balance between. It's not like I would recommend trace one painting and the next that you paint, just make it just without any tracing. In that way, you need to practice always drawing. Yeah? Trace one, the next one you don't trace. When I remember I had these projectors once, and I used that for a long time until just I remember I bought a projector in New York. I remember it was like maybe $50, and one of those days that you know you don't have any money, I was like, hey, I don't have any money. One of my friends here was just like, hey, you want to send me your projector? I said, yeah, perfect, okay. And I sold it for $100. I got some money, some extra money. I used to use that for bigger paintings. For smaller ones, I used to trace. It's just easier. But now there are a lot of ways to trace. But I think the best way you just put, you know, carbon paper between the photograph and your canvas, and that's it. But there are so many apps out there, you know, that you just kind of projects the image, creates a transparent image on top, and you just paint. That's the same as tracing. Yeah, that's. I think those are pretty useful. Yeah. Okay, just checking the values. What else? More questions, please. I'm gonna paint maybe 10 more minutes. I'm trying to get the volume on the nose. That's kind of tricky. And I have the shadow here, reflected light. I'm adding another shadow there. Light again here. It's kind of difficult to keep the balance between the brush strokes and softness. For the next portrait, I'm gonna try the same again, but I'll try to add more paint. Now I need to soften this. Where's my brush? Okay. Okay, softness here, brush strokes here. Not like that much, a lot of brush strokes, but I just want something between soft with a little bit of movement created by these brush strokes, at the same time trying to keep the volume. I'm gonna use some brush strokes to follow the movement. I mean the form of the face. Just few of them, like here on the forehead, and trying to follow a rhythm that follows the rounded form. Okay, let's see. Hello, Eve. Hello. Thank you, Maggie. Hello, Nira. Okay. Oh, that's pretty good, Trudy. Okay. It's been 2 hours. I think that's enough for today. Yeah. What else I can do? Some touches of pure black here, just for some texture. Okay. Okay. I think that's enough for today. Yeah? Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you so much for your nice comments, and happy to see you next week. And before you go, remember, just press the like button, and if you don't like it, remember to press the like button twice, the dislike button twice. Okay, But you like it, press the like button really hard, smash it, break it. At the end, I'm not completely happy with the nose, but I think it's good enough. Okay. That's it for today. Bye, everybody. Take care. Okay. Yeah. Hello, Socrates, the cab driver. Yep. Bye, everybody. See you next week. As usual, I always see things at the last minute that I wanna just fix a little bit. Why the little things, little mistakes just jumps at the last minute? Okay. Bye. You know what? Notice at the last minute that this eye looked lighter than the other one. Okay, now I go for real. Yeah. Yeah.